Larry, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you giving us some time here. So I know we just kind of got back from the event. How'd you like the event, and what was kind of your favorite part?
The event was amazing. I I learned a lot there, and coming in had, some information, some knowledge, but really just got to level up there. I think the best part is actually connecting with other AEs who are also in different phases of the process of acquiring business, and also connecting with the leadership of Acquira and getting to really see the passion and the knowledge. So those two things really, seeing that in the leadership really helped to make this like an event of pulling me in, pulling other folks together, kind of creating this kind of common, right? This common experience of trying to find a business and acquire a business.
Awesome. That makes a ton of sense. And so, what made you choose to work with Acquira over other options that you saw?
I Let me see. I started with reading the book Buy Then Build. Is that correct? Right here somewhere. Buy Then Build, and looking at Walker's acquisition lab, and that was from the recommendation of a good buddy of mine. And then at some point, he also mentioned Acquira, and so I looked at Acquira. And one of the things that really appealed to me is that Acquira, in terms of the empower, is that there's a system to this. I'm a systems guy. So when you guys laid out that there was a systematic process to how you do this, and it's been done this way successfully, that's a big selling point for me. Also, just the fact that my friend, I mentioned he had looked at Acquira, decided, with his educational background as an experience in corporate and experience working, that he could just do it on his own and probably do just as well. And there were a couple of things that he missed in the process of acquiring business that have since really cost him a lot of time and money. But I think mostly the time cost has been the hardest for him because he wasn't expecting to be kind of stuck with certain challenges for as long as he has. And that's another huge like advantage of having a team and having Acquire and having a program, having systems and having people who've really seen so many different deals and can help me spot pitfalls or landmines, right? I'm here to do this well. I don't need to like learn all these lessons again. I keep saying I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah, well, that makes a ton of sense. And so, now you've been in the ecosystem for a while. Like, how would you describe the Acquira community and support system?
You guys do a really good job of vetting everybody, I think, or there's something, I don't know what's involved, but the people who I've dealt with have all been very kind and warm and open. They're available to answer questions. Folks seem to really like to jump in whenever they can offer something of knowledge or experience. It's just it's nice. It's like you built like a community. Even though, and it's a funny thing, right? Because all the folks here want to be entrepreneurs and own their own businesses. And I think mostly in most people's minds, that seems like you're a standalone kind of, you want to do things on your own type of person. But you can also see like once you built the community that folks come in and really get the benefit from that.
Yeah, no, it's good to have other people to do this with for sure. Now, last question I would ask you is if someone was on the fence about working with Acquira, like what would you say to them?
First thing, if you're on the fence because of the price of because of the cost of the service, I would think that as somebody who's going to become a savvy business owner, like if you're expecting to become a savvy business owner, you understand that this is a cost of business, that it's an investment in both yourself and in the process and making something go smoothly. So don't worry too much about the money part, right? If the concern is whether or not there's enough expertise, you just take a moment, you know, look at what Acquire has to offer, talk to some of the folks there, talk to the leadership, and then you can see that these folks have done their homework and you guys know what you're doing. And I mean, just a number of times that in the workshop and in different meetings where we have these there were these tangential thoughts, right? We're talking about a subject and then it says, oh, but there's this, and then there's this variability. And so it was clear to me that you've seen a lot of things happen, right? And so seeing a lot of things happen, having dealt with them means that I'll have the coverage for when things probably will go a little sideways, right? Because despite our best plans, it's just something's always going to come up. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think that's really well said. It's like no matter what, the more experience someone has in whatever it is that you're trying to do, then the fewer mistakes that you're going to make. And also you can just have the confidence and comfort to move forward and
right.
take the steps you need to with what is probably the largest transaction of your life, right?
Exactly.
And nothing more substantial. So I think it's smart and I really appreciate all your feedback, Larry.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Well, look, that's all I need. I appreciate
Great.
your feedback and time. I'll give you back the rest of your 15 minutes and
Great. Thanks.
have a great
Have a
rest
great
of the day.
one.
You
All right.
too. See you later.
See you around. Bye.